on the pole position. The fans are on their feet. They're applauding right now. The Toyota Camry pace car is about to go on to pit road. The field starts scratching them up together. We're getting ready to roll the dice in Vegas, and everybody's excited.
And they are headed into what will later on become the Geico Restart Zone. Clint Bowyer, Daniel Suarez, teammates racing against each other on the break. It is Bowyer getting away by about a half car length over Suarez. Suarez battles back to the bottom.
It'll be a synchronized dance into turn number 1 among 4 SHR drivers. Things already beginning to shuffle up back in the pack. Looks like Suarez a slight advantage over pole sitter Bowyer off turn 2.
Suarez alongside Bowyer, side by side, down the Nellis straightaway. First time today, nobody giving an inch. All of those cars running door to door, 2 by 2. Now Suarez works a little bit ahead on the bottom of the racetrack. Bowyer, though, battles back on the outside.
A little farther back, 4 wide. Can they safely make it through turn 4? They do, at the stripe by a half a car length. Bowyer is your leader on lap 1, and they're back in turn 1.
And Suarez will battle back hard on the bottom of the racetrack, gets those left sides down against the white line that marks the inside of the racing surface. Bowyer draws even, and he'll pull slide ahead down the backstretch.
Man on the move, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Wow, up to the 3rd spot now, challenging for the lead. Just under Bowyer now as Suarez makes his way to the front of the field. But a great move by Stenhouse.
He's pushing that Sonny D forward hard right now into 3rd, but he is about to get some heat here. Diving to his inside will be Eric Almirola.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. started back on the outside of row 6 to 12th position, raced his way up to 3rd. Now he slid back to 4th as Almirola bypasses in, trying to also accomplish the same thing, Kevin Harvick.
Here's a battle for 3rd. Stenhouse, he's trying to move forward halfway down the Nellis straightaway. Not going to be able to get it this time. Almirola eases out in front of him. He's got the 3rd spot, but here comes Stenhouse on the bottom once again, battling for that position.
He takes a peek to the inside. Kevin Harvick drafting up behind those two. A little farther back, Kurt Busch has moved up a spot, and now teammates Daniel Hemrick, Austin Dillon, door to door in 1.
As they race into turn 1 up front, it is 2 of them beginning to pull away. Daniel Suarez leads this race. Clint Bowyer right 2nd. 10 car lengths back to a side-by-side fight for 3rd.
Watching Kevin Harvick now working with that 3rd and 4th place cars. He's trying to move up himself as he slides up to the top side of the racetrack already this morning. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd again. Stenhouse working on Almirola.
This first stage, 80 laps here. We'll have a pretty good idea up front. It's Suarez and Bowyer. The battle is going to be for 3rd. It is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Almirola, and Kevin Harvick.
With Suarez and Bowyer settling it out single file, they'll start to pull away from a side-by-side duel for the 3rd spot. Eric Almirola, middle group on the bottom. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Well, you can't take your eyes off of those two cars battling. Almirola alongside Stenhouse Jr. getting it done. Now Almirola to the bottom of the racetrack. He takes that spot. Here comes Harvick now. He's going to try to challenge Stenhouse again for that position.
A little bit farther back, Joey Logano is on the prowl. Started this race in the 22nd position. He's all the way up to the 11th spot, now going after Jimmy Johnson and Chase Elliott.
Johnson will slide up to the top of the banking in turn 1. That opens the inside lane for Joey Logano. He'll capitalize and draw even with Johnson as they exit turn 2. Slight advantage to Logano.
But not so fast. Here comes the 48 car right on the outside wall, and he'll pull back in front of Logano here. Jimmy Johnson with his foot through the floorboard, holding on to that spot. Logano will challenge again, but they'll go nose to tail off 4.
Let's go down to Wendy Venturini. Got some word on Kyle Busch.
Unfortunate circumstance already for Kyle Busch. He got into the wall off turn 2 on the back stretch. He said it's pretty bad.
Johnson, his teammate, William Byron now will take that spot away from Jimmy Johnson down the backstretch.
Those two teammates will battle each other down the Nellis straightaway there, try to figure out who has the best team car there. It appears that Johnson does at the moment. They race off of turn 4, and Chase Elliott now making a move alongside Joey Logano.
3 wide here along the front stretch. Joey Logano will get the better, though, of Chase Elliott. Next in line, it'll be Austin Dillon.
The reason we're talking about that fight for the 8th position, the front 7 are single file and really spreading out on the racetrack. 8th on back is tight. It is Joey Logano. He's being pursued by Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, and now Austin Dillon.
Good side-by-side battle there with Austin Dillon and William Byron, as Byron will make that pass now, take the 24 car down to the bottom.
Chattering as he's getting into the corners. How about you, Wendy Venturini?
Kyle Busch's crew chief Adam Stevens has reported to Kyle that the damage is in the right rear quarter panel, but it's not bad enough to come down pit road right now. They are going to pull the right rear quarter panel out when he comes down pit road. He's just going to have to hang on to it right now. We knew he lost 8 spots when he hit the wall, and they've just called him down. He is coming down pit road. Right side tires being called by Adam Stevens. The team has grabbed the tires. They hopped on there for pit wall. We're going to stay here with Kyle Busch. They're going to straighten out the fender. It's going to be right side only. I see the right front tire changer now was pulling on his gun, trying to make sure it was prepared. He comes to a stop right here in front of me. Kyle Busch hitting the wall early on in this race. A tire now goes rolling outside of the pit stall in front of us. That's unfortunate. They're pulling the fender on both the front and the right rear. Adam Stevens reminding them, let's not lose a lap here. They get in front of the car. Kyle Busch is away.
Well, Wendy, it looks like they'll have to serve out a penalty, though. That was clearly an uncontrolled tire, wasn't it?
And also, Doug, one of their crewmen went around the car into the next pit as well, so Kyle did not hit him on his exit. So you got to believe there's at least one penalty coming for Kyle Busch, but we have to await official word from NASCAR.
And right now, Kyle Busch being scored a lap down, realistically is about a lap and a half down.
Yeah, and again, if he has to serve any kind of penalty, that will certainly put him 2 or more down. So again, bad problems early on for Kyle Busch, but as we talked about, Doug, he had room for a mulligan. He may use it up here in race number 1 of this playoff. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Looking at the right rear tire, completely flat. The side wall of the tire is blown out, so when he hit the wall, it did make hard enough contact to do damage to those tires and eventually gave out on Kyle Busch, which means he had to come down very quickly in an emergency pit stop for Kyle Busch for those 2 right side tires.
And right now he's in a precarious position. He's already a lap down. Pat, he could go 2 laps down.
Well, right now the leader's about 2.5 car lengths behind him. Kyle Busch trying to drive it for all he's worth right now to stay out in front of this lead group. Even with new tires, he's having a hard time staying away from that 41 car leading the pack.
He is currently listed in 39th, dead last -1. And again, we're hearing that Kevin Harvick got into the fence. He may have to make a trip down pit road. We'll have to see how that works out. Let's go to Brad Gillig.
Kevin Harvick just hopped on the radio and said, in the wall, in the wall. The crew quickly jumped to work. All the over-the-wall members have their helmets on. They're ready with tires on the wall in the jack. Rodney Childers said they are going to bring them in, just waiting to find a clear place to do that and exactly when they feel comfortable.
2 of the strongest competitors early on here already up in the fence.
One, Doug, went with the downforce package. One went with the race trim, went with the speed, and both different strategies have found the wall here early on. Look at Joey Logano right now. He is about to bypass Kurt Busch. He started 22nd. Now, Rob, he may be rolling into the 6th position.
Well, he does it easily because Kurt Busch simply moved over to the bottom of the racetrack on turn 1 and gave that spot to Joey Logano as he continues his prowl toward the front.
Yeah, watching those cars work their way down the backstretch right now. Also watching to see if Kevin Harvick's going to get woed up and go to the pit road this time by. Battle for second rages on, though. Almirola and Clint Boyer going at it.
Clint Boyer right here now has the advantage. Call it 3 car lengths over Eric Almirola as they head toward turn 1.
Daniel Suarez leads by about 15 car lengths. Of course, missed the playoffs by 4 points. He's got something to prove. Would love to win a race. It's very early in the going, however, and it appears that Boyer and Almirola are beginning to close.
Yeah, they're beginning to close, and Kyle Busch, by the way, for those fans, he's pulled far away from the leader right now, so he stayed away from Suarez. Battle for second, once again, Almirola working the middle of the racetrack, trying to hunt down Clint Boyer.
For the time being, Kevin Harvick and his crew have decided to keep him on the racetrack as we get an update now from O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Where our pole sitter Clint Boyer started the race tight, but it's just gone to a loose condition. That's what he's fighting right now. Meanwhile, he is also driving for something else today. His grandmother passed away this morning, and over the driver's side, instead of Clint's name, it says Grandma. And as he took the green flag today, Clint came on the radio and says, "We're going to win this one for Grandma. She really loved this thing."
Man, that's tough. You got to admire somebody to go out there and do that with the loss of a close family member. We'll take a time out after we tell you the top 5 are Daniel Suarez, Clint Boyer, Eric Almirola, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Kevin Harvick.
Ready to set record time at the dealership? Accelerate car buying online with AutoTrader. Do your paperwork, get financing options, and a trade-in value all online. To get a monthly payment based on your information before you buy. Save time at the dealership when you start the deal online. Accelerate your deal with AutoTrader.
Starting route now. Turn right at Fortress Mountain. Turn left at Mount Hood. Head south to Moab, Utah. Continue on the Great North American Test Drive.
Run with us on a John Deere Gator XUV 835. With our quietest cab ever and optional heat and AC, and a 4-wheel independent suspension, it's built to run where no one else can. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
Z-Max gives you increased gas mileage, improved performance, and reduces wear on vital engine parts. Available at fine retailers like AutoZone, Pep Boys, Advance Auto Parts, and Walmart. Z-Max, performance you can feel. At lap 21 here in the South Point 400, Daniel Suarez, your leader, by 1.2 seconds over Eric Almirola. Then it's Clint Boyer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick. The rest of our top 10, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Daniel Hemrick, and Austin Dillon. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, this is Major General Chuck Swanee. Each year, Speedway Children's Charities partners with hundreds of programs nationwide that help children, from combating pediatric cancer to providing a healthy meal. We help kids wherever and whenever they need us. Through the support of our longtime partners and awesome fans, we have granted more than $55 million, helping more than 13 million children in your surrounding communities. Learn more about how you can help a child by visiting us at speedwaycharities.org.
I'm Paul Shadden Charlotte with Kathy Martindale in Nashville here on Z-Max Racing Country from PRN.
We're so proud of bringing you the best singers in country music and the biggest stars in NASCAR. Hello, Garth.
Oh my gosh.
You got a nickname for Tricia, don't you?
I got about 8,000 nicknames for her, and the Queen is probably the big one, but
Z-Max Racing Country, music from the fast lane.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, lap 24. I really love irony. A lot of people get irony and coincidence confused. What we have here at the Speedway is true irony. The final guy to be eliminated from the playoffs, Daniel Suarez, leads. The regular season champion, Kyle Busch, rides last in 38. That is textbook irony.
I got you. All right, let's go to Brett McMillan.
William Byron came on his radio a minute ago and said that the car was really tight. Well, his crew chief, Chad Knaus, who, of course, is in the playoffs for the 16th consecutive year, responded, well, you know, you're not as tight as other guys. You'll figure it out.
On the racetrack, the man absolutely on the move with a rocket is Joey Logano. Started in the 22nd position, has rumbled by Clint Boyer and now Kevin Harvick. Move him up to the 3rd spot, Doug, and he is rapidly closing in on leaders Daniel Suarez and Eric Almirola.
And, you know, we talked about Kevin Harvick getting up in the fence. They decided not to pit him. He's still running, even though he just got passed by Logano in the 4th spot, so that car looks pretty good.
Absolutely. Here, let's pick up the leaders now midway down the backstretch.
Yeah, and once again,
the ones that controlled what happened here at the end of the race. And when they did that, everybody was forced to follow. And now we see William Byron is coming on to pit lane. He'll give up the lead, and that is going to turn over the #1 spot, at least temporarily, to Kyle Larson as we go back down to Brett McMillan.
And his pit crew is on the wall. William Byron's, he now comes around the bend to the car, just been a tick tight. Chad Knaus, of course, calling the shots for him. They've gone around to the right side. Everything going smooth so far. A tear-off is gone. The right side tire's on. Jack drops 2 tire change for William Byron.
So he is down and away. And again, Kyle Larson is still not pitted. Neither has Matt DiBenedetto, Ty Dillon, Bubba Wallace, Michael McDowell, or Daniel Suarez. And once they do, Kevin Harvick is going to be back out front again of this South Point 400. So again, as we have gone a long green flag run once again, things rather strung out around this racetrack. And now we see Bubba Wallace about to make his final pit stop of the night. So he'll drop off the top 5, and that'll mean one more position for Kevin Harvick. And again, as